guys, welcome to my video blog again. Today we're gonna take apart this old retro game console, Sega Master System 2, sorry, my language. It's old game console from 90s. Master System 1 was released in 1991, if I'm correct. I wasn't even born that time, so I already got rid of the screws and actually disassembled everything. I was recording it, but due to a shortage on my SD card, it got lost. So let's take a look at it. On the top of it, we see it's a game cartridge slot. It has a nice hatch to open and close with logo and stuff. There's a big, soft, beefy pause button and nice sliding power switch. There are some holes up there, probably for cooling or something. Even though it's not quite heating up. There are two it's standard DB9 connectors for control pad. It says gamepad, or however you like to call it. They have pretty much their standard DB9 connectors, but without screw and terminals. They just connect here, and it's just full of switches. We'll see inside later. And that's from this side. There's nothing at the sides, but at the back there's a AC adapter connector. It's 9V half amp, I think, and radio frequency output. Now it uses actually an old analog type radio frequency output, because in that time pretty much everyone had those old analog TV tuners in TVs, and you just connect this into antenna port. There was actually a kind of switch, actually, so you had actually used different cables, so, and then you just switched between Sega and TV. So it's not actually a standard antenna connector. It's actually XLR change, or however you'd like to call it. So on the bottom there are some markings. Here you go. It says it's Sega logo. It says model number and stuff. Rating, I said correctly. 9V at 500 milliamps. Use Sega AC adapter only, as always. There's a serial number and Sega Enterprise Ltd, made in Thailand. And there is another sign here. This is some kind of region code I figured out. It's because actually those systems, also 1 and 2, were actually made for different regions, and I know that there are many mods changing to Japanese versions, because in Chinese versions, just because they had some more function and stuff, and it's quite a nice console, I must say. I played it quite a lot when I was younger. You might refresh my memories, and now let's take it apart. I already undo the screws. There were 5 screws, one here, one here, one here, and here. I just undo them, put them in the box correctly assorted, and then you just, at the back, you just lift it on. And what you see here is the inside. It's just a plastic cover. It's quite nice made. You can see there is this hatch mechanism and stuff. Now let's take a look inside. At first, when you open up, you don't see much. it's just a metal shield. It's put down with some screws, quite some. They put quite a lot of effort. I already undone the screws, so you can see it's just sheet metal shielding. I don't know why they actually put this on. And now you have a look at the guts, and you can see there's quite some stuff happening there. So let me introduce you to Sega Master System. What you see here is main processor unit. It's Zilog Z80. It's 4 MHz version, and that's its main processor. I also printed the first pages of datasheets just to show some characteristics, and here is characteristic for Zilog. Sorry about that. It's quite old processor. It says it has 158 instructions. So this was pretty much this nice processor that time. And you had two versions of this series. It was NMOS version and CMOS. This one model number is NMOS. In the NMOS you have three versions. You have 4 MHz, 6.17 MHz, and 8 MHz. And for CMOS you got 6.17 and 8 MHz, 10 MHz, and even 20 MHz. But here it's NMOS 4 MHz version. You can see the pinout here. It's just a CPU, it's not a microcontroller or anything, so you also need to control this system, so it's not really nice to develop a product on today, since you need quite a lot of other chips. As you can see here, there are quite a lot of other chips needed to run this thing. So the next chip next to Zilog is Sega branded. It's MPR15155. It's Sega branded custom chip, and I found actually a website. I also printed that out, and that has all the chip numbers and their functions for this system. I'll put the link in the description. It also has some nice high quality pictures of the circuit board, so you can take a look at them. And this part says it's BIOS for the system. Now I have European version, of course, and so yes, I have this game Sonic the Hedgehog 2, like it says on this page, but they were actually preloaded with different games by different regions, and here where I live it's Sonic the Hedgehog. So I obviously couldn't find any datasheets for custom made chips, and there are two more custom made chips, but we'll talk about them later. So next chip I'm gonna take a look is that's next to him. It's just a 64 kilobyte RAM for the processor, I guess. It's standard RAM. Here are two more RAMs, but different branded, that are used by video chip here. Now we'll talk about this a bit later. This RAM here, this is 64 kilobytes. Like I said, these two video RAMs here are the same memory size, but according to datasheet, those video RAM chips are a bit lower in performance. So let's say I also printed out this datasheet, and it's pretty much just standard RAM. it has exactly the same pinout as video RAM, so it's nothing really special. It says 8192 words times 8. It's the same for other those video RAMs, and this says it's supposed to be 64K. Now, yeah, I guess that's just it. It's 5-volt power supply. It says it needs no clock. It's got this version is 100 nanosecond maximum access time. It's just normal CMOS static RAM. So we check out this chip. Now up here is another Sega custom branded chip, and according to this website's info, this is supposed to be input-output controller. It's Sega 315-5237, and you can see it on this site here. It's custom made, so yeah, again, no info. Next to it there is some resistor network, so I see they used also this, so they quite cared about the size. They didn't just use standard resistor. Probably it was a bit cheaper that way. I guess that this input-output chip puts the clock for Zilog, because here is only one oscillator up here, and it's way too high frequency for Zilog to run. It says it's 53 megahertz. It's quite big frequency. So we'll take a look at this crystal later. Sorry again, I might be dying, I guess. Here again, custom made chip, but this one looks quite weird, because as you can see, it's like a dill chip, but it got 2 lines in each line. So I don't know, quad inline package, would you call this? Go figure, I have no idea. It's RGB, red, green, blue, this controller, so nothing really special. It's actually I mean, it's video output chip, like graphics card, so nothing special. It's custom made. It's this chip figures out what's going to be output on the video, and so these 2 RAM chips here are for this video processor to use by this. So these are video RAMs. Now let's take a look at those data sheets. Nothing really special, pretty much the same thing like there, just access time is 150 nanoseconds, a bit higher, but otherwise it's pretty much the same thing. Nothing really special. So let's continue our journey. There are 2 more chips. No, just 1. Yeah, 2 actually. Here is industry standard 7805. We all know this one. 5-volt regulator. It was screwed here for to this tiny little heatsink. I like its design. They probably thought, maybe we need just a bit more power dissipation, and it's all connected to ground. I must say, they put a really lot of effort of grounding everything and shielding, so we'll check this edge here and stuff later when I remove also the circuit board, so we get a nice view. And there is another chip. It's RGB encoder. Here it is. It's MB3514. It's pretty much the only SMD part in here. This takes in the RGB input and converts it to NTSC or PAL or composite video signals. That we know those composite video connectors, where you have audio and video separated, and this encodes video, and then this sends to this module here. It's RF module. It's nicely canned for shielding, but let's pop this can open. And when you open it up, practically see nothing really special, just some SMD parts. It's just like a model put in and soldered. There are contacts here. It's just like external module. I guess they want to. They have different modulators and stuff. So, but that's pretty much it. It's nicely shielded. So let's close this can back down, because there's nothing really to see there. I'm not going to unsolder this. Too much time for it would be too much time consuming, and I guess nothing really special to be seen there. Now, there are a bunch of passives. There are two switches, one for power, those sliding, and one soft pulse. When the car is on, there are plastic buttons on it, so nothing special. There are, I think these are the diodes, not really sure. Capacitors, I seem to find quite a lot fluorides and inductors, and here's one, here, I mean, a bunch of them. No, let's try to count them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I can't already. I mean, there's a bunch of inductors. I don't know why. I guess they're just right here. Now, let's remove the circuit board and button shield, because this is actually all shielded. Not with this. There are some nasty snaps. Usually, snaps when you try, but it doesn't matter. Yep, I might be dying. So about that again. Now, here, this is the bottom shield. It's got some insulation here, I guess. So, just a little bit. But, unless you can see this edge here sits nicely on those exposed tracks here for good shielding. So, they really put a lot of effort into this. But I quite like it. It sits nicely on all the screws, everything is tightly with this shit, so it sits flush. It's quite nice. I don't know why they put so much effort in shielding. I guess they used it or something, I have no idea. Was it just so many high frequency stuff? Go figure. I don't know. Now, let's go to this oscillator and let me check. This quite definitely runs this input-output controller, and I guess there is this is like another processor or something, maybe even gate array or something, I have no idea. Today you wouldn't use custom made chips for this, you'd probably just pop in a FPGA and problem solved. So, but I quite like this design. Is there anything else special on board? You can see this connector here. When you put the cartridge in, it sits in, and once it's detected when you turn on the console, you can play the game. So, quite nice. Now, in this system, there are quite a lot of mods. I must say, I've seen a mod mods for composite video output, where you just out, use the output of this chip used to register them to caps. You have audio video composite output, so quite nice. I also seen some 50 to 60 hertz mode mods where you on this video chip where you reconnect something, or I don't know what, and your video output will go from 50 Hz to 60 Hz, but the whole console will get faster because of it. I know, maybe some video, maybe it's even this output thing, I have no idea. I didn't put very much attention to those mods. There are also mods when you on this, I think it's input-output thing, where you, this pin 23, you short it to ground and you change language from English to Japanese, I think. I know it output will be Japanese, and it's an R3 botap logo or something, I have no idea. It's just a lot of mods for this. They're all available online. Now when you look at the build quality, I'm not quite impressed by soldering. I mean, pretty much all the caps are wrong sizes. They're soldered like, this one is like half a centimeter in mid-air, and I just don't like this, but once the solder joints are quite well. Some chips lack of reflow a bit, didn't flow all the way through, but it's quite nice. This board is quite nicely made, and this solder mask, it's not the highest quality one. In all times they had different soldering mask materials. Sorry again, I'm really dying. So that's pretty much it. Let's put it back together. I'll put it back together later, I guess. Let's also take a look at what's inside the remote control. It's nothing really special. I already know. Okay, guys, sorry about that. So when I unscrew this, guys, I'll show you it's nothing really special. It's all analog. You'll see why it's DB9 connector. It has 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 buttons on controller, so you're definitely now sure it's parallel analog, just switches in here. But let's take it apart anyway. It's just 6 screws and it glues. Well, here am I again. Recording for the third time this episode. Battery of my phone, which I'm recording it, was low, and power saving mode shut off recording, so it cut off instantly after I unscrewed those screws. Then I recorded it to the end. Didn't know it cut off, so I figured this out not wanting. So I again unscrew these screws, and I'm showing you this remote again. Inside, it's a plastic case. You can see it's those standard terminals with those rubber-like switches with those black conductive things. So it's pretty much what I said. It's just normal switches. 7 buttons, 7